What is going on, New York Giants fans? Welcome to another video from Hit Squad Productions. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, leave a like below, follow us on Twitter, link will be in the description. In this video, I wanted to talk about a player that I feel that a lot of Giants fans want and a lot of Giants fans don't want, and whether that's due to the personal reasons, whether that's due to them really wanting an offensive lineman or a wide receiver, we want to talk about it here. And I want to talk about Micah Parsons, linebacker out of Penn State. Now, let's be honest. Micah Parsons is a beast of a player. And honestly, really, when you think about it, he would be the perfect fit to this defense under Patrick Graham. And I think that with the ties with Penn State, we have their former defensive line coach Sean Spencer here with the New York Giants. He could really take him under his wing and provide a nice leader role to him. And I think that when you look at a player like Micah Parsons, yeah, there are red flags with him, but I do think that if Joe Judge and the organization feel that it's not as big of an issue, as we may think that it is, I'm gonna trust Joe Judge. And I want to say this much: the allegations against Micah Parsons, which right now that's what they are allegations, they're no joke. they are no joke. I'm gonna let you guys do your own research with it. It is no joke. Granted, he was younger. He's 17, and I believe right now he's 21. And he has a kid, so that definitely plays into it. He had come out and said, he doesn't want to play for a team that is going to hold him to something that he's done in the past. So not only is he not necessarily denying those allegations, but you could kind of question, his character just off of that. But at the same time, like I stated, they're just allegations, and until that they are proven, I can't really say much. On top of that, if Joe Judge and the organization again feel that it's nothing really of concern, that I'm going to go with their opinion, because I really do like what Joe Judge is doing to this organization. I think that we're headed in the right direction, and I think that grabbing a player like Micah Parsons, that takes your defense, which was ranked top 10, to easily top 5. I mean, look, he's not going to be your most consistent edge rusher, and that's fine, because that's not really what you're asking him to do. And I think that pairing him with a linebacker like Blake Martinez, he could really take over the Tay Crowder role. And honestly, he's a beast of a player coming off the ball on third down. He has some nice speed. Kind of reminds me of Devin White. That's what a lot of people compare him to. I'm not saying that he's going to be like Devin White, but I do think that he has some nice speed on him. He has good vision for the ball. Now, I want to say that Penn State, because a lot of people bring this up, Penn State didn't ask him to really cover that much. So he wasn't really asked to do it, but I do trust that Patrick Graham could draw up some schemes that could kind of hide that weakness a little bit until he can get more onto his feet and develop as a player. But Micah Parsons, look, great talent. Easily, right now he's listed as the best edge rusher in this class. Granted, that's not saying much considering that this is a weak edge rusher class. All of the edge rushers in this class have some sort of red flag to them, whether that's their technique or how long they play the position, whichever. But I wouldn't be upset if the Giants took him at 11. I really wouldn't. Now, I do think that if Atlanta does trade out of 4, and let's say they traded down to, let's say, 7, 8, I could see them getting a player like Micah Parsons. Now, I feel that if no one trades up with Atlanta, they'll take a player like Kyle Pitts. But with how the draft is, you really can't predict what's going to happen, right? Now, I do want to say he is 6'3", 246 pounds. His speed, he ran a 40-yard dash at 4.39. That's fast. The athleticism is definitely there. He had a 34-inch vertical leap, and I do think that he does fill two needs that could take the Giants defense from really good to great. And honestly, I think if you could pair him covering tight ends, maybe not having one of the safeties come down, whether that's Xavier McKinney or Jabril Peppers, lining him up against the tight end, or having him come off the ball as a pass rusher, I think you're really getting a nice nice piece to your defense and an excellent weapon for Patrick Graham to use. Now, I will say this much. He has 6.5 career sacks, 6 forced fumbles in 2 seasons, and despite the red flags, like I said, if they don't really think that's too big of a concern, this is a big addition. And despite the red flags, the talent really shows. It shows on the tape. He's one hell of a player. I do think that people can grow and that people can change. I'm not going to say that these were mistakes that he made outside of maybe inciting a riot in high school. I mean, that I could see that. I've done some stupid stuff like that in high school, but the allegations that are against him, that's serious. That's very serious. You can blame that on the culture. Penn State has had numerous allegations in all of their sports. With how, they really run things. And I think that bringing him into an organization like the New York Giants, who, granted, let's be honest with you, we've had our fair share of bad apples. No pun intended, but, you look at players off random, Eric Flowers, Eli Apple, just to name a few, especially Eli Apple, who came with a lot of baggage. I think that if we could get him in the right state of mind and provide him with great leadership, like players like Logan Ryan, Jabril Peppers, Leonard Williams, Blake Martinez especially, and on top of that, when you look at the coaching staff like Patrick Graham and Sean Spencer, these are going to be great leaders and great mentors for a player like Micah Parsons, to where we don't need to worry about that. You have a lot of players that come into the league that had certain allegations against them, and they still balled out. Now, I do want to say that Yetur Gross-Matos was also involved with these allegations. Let's not let that slide. He's just as guilty as Micah Parsons, whether we want to say that or not. And that didn't affect his draft stock at all. He was still taken in the 2nd round by the Carolina Panthers. Now, Micah Parsons isn't going to fall that low. Micah Parsons is only going to fall, I could only see him falling to maybe 15, maybe, and I honestly, outside of the New York Giants, I would hate to see him land in a place like Washington, who we're hearing rumors that they're trying to trade up possibly for Trey Lance if he's there. But if a team like Washington were to pick up a player like Micah Parsons, I would be, oh my God, that would be, I don't even want to talk about it. That's a dangerous ass defense. But I think that if we can land him, it would make a lot of sense. Obviously, the character issues have to check. We have to make sure that everything is good. Obviously, with how long the process was with bringing in Kenny Galladay, bringing in Adoree Jackson, the Giants are going to make sure that he checks all the boxes and fits this culture. And if they don't think that, they're not going to pick him whether he's there or not. Obviously, if he's not, but if he's there, if they feel that he doesn't align with the culture and where we're going, they may feel that they could pick up an edge rusher later on in the draft and go in a different direction, which, depending on which direction they go, I wouldn't be upset with that either. But let me know your thoughts below. How are you guys feeling about Micah Parsons? Again, me, outside of the character issues, again, they are just allegations, but outside of that, the talent is there. Great speed. He wasn't really asked to cover too much, but he can really get to the quarterback. He has great vision for the ball, got some dog in him. He doesn't really think when he plays, which could be a good thing, but it could be a bad thing. But I do think, again, if we could provide him with the right leadership, which we do have here at the New York Giants, he would be one hell of a player. And I think that later on in his career, while we develop him and he gets adjusted to the game and he grows as a leader, he could be a captain going late into his career, or even early into his career, maybe his 2nd year if he has a good year. But I do think that he would be an immediate impact player on this defense, and I do think that he would be a great fit. But again, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, leave a like below, follow us on Twitter, let us know your thoughts on Micah Parsons. Would you like him on this defense? How do you think this defense would be if we got a player like Micah Parsons? Actually, how would you rank this defense? I think they'd at least be top 5, to say the least. But let us know your thoughts below. This is Hit Squad Productions. We'll see you guys in the next video.